I don't even have my camera set up. That was kind of cool. Just put that up there until somebody joined, and by gosh, at the very end of that, Eric joins in. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Alrighty. Sorry to hear about your dog there, Jay. Yeah, we had to bury a pet ourselves last week. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Alrighty. So tonight is a pick from RDV. I thought I was going to be doing some Alex Ross, but he goes, hey, remember, I did mention World's Finest. Okay, let's do that. So we get some golden age happiness coming in here. I'm not mad at that. And hello to RDV as well.
Hello. 30 minutes and I'm gone.
After 30 minutes on your own thing, huh?
Yep.
Well, don't forget to leave your votes in the comment section
on the replay.
I don't know how well this replay is going to be, just because I just confused the heck out of anybody who's popping in. You know, those 3 seconds or 30 seconds they play of the video.
You played like a 5-minute video of Wonder Woman. You're like,
yeah, I know, right? It's almost 5 minutes worth of Wonder Woman coverage. It's going to confuse the newbies.
Wednesday nights are always iffy. It's 50-50 shot. It all depends on if the other people that want it, if they're busy or not, if they want to read.
All righty. Well, hello to everybody. MK is saying, wow, so much sadness with pets in here. I'm sorry to hear that for Jay and Dark.
Oh, wait. Dark Admiral lost a pet too?
Apparently. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, we lost one. I guess it's the time. I wonder if the heat has anything. We thought the heat had something to do with ours.
Wait, you lost yours? Like a cat?
No. Guinea pig.
Oh.
Wait, but also the guinea pig was like almost 8 years old, and that's old for a guinea pig. We just don't think the heat helped.
It went for the wires, didn't it?
It went for the wires. Yeah. I think that'll just be the euphemism for our pet's about to die. Then they went for the wires. All right. Okay. So you know what? Let me share this out. Because I am, for once, I'm actually all set up and ready to go.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about that. Eric's house is now known as the Coco Cabana.
The Coco Cabana. All righty, let me. I got that shared out, and here we go. I guess it's Eric came in first. There you go.
Well, he is older. Age before beauty.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, screw it. World's Finest. Now, nope, I got to change that, because this is the funny thing about World's Finest is issue number 1 was not World's Finest.
It's World's Best.
It was World's Best.
Then they realized we should just focus on Batman and Superman. Eventually.
Alrighty, and here we go. Oh, where's
96 freaking pages too.
There you go. Alrighty, Eric, you're up first. I know you don't like Golden Age, but try to kind of get in.
I'm not Henry.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, you got the faded cover.
I'm going to say, like I said tomorrow night or the other night, this is right after Batman Superman let Robin plunge to his death.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, we read this last week, and this was one of the most fun I've ever had reading a comic.
I think we did that this Friday night or Sunday night?
Whatever night. It was just Pixel.
Yeah.
I got to give us a 10. I know it's minimal background, but it's, what else could the first cover for a book featuring those 3 be?
And I got to admit, by the way, I do like getting rundown copies of Golden Age. I mean, I get it. You want the digital cleaned up kind, and it shows stuff off. But where are you going to find that in the wild that doesn't say facsimile on it and has a freaking variant cover? What do you think, RDV, about the cover to World's Best Comics #1?
Well, I've always stated I'm not a fan of the tiny shield. I like having the larger shield.
Yeah.
On Superman. Also, having Batman have a little bigger thing, because remember, he always says it's a target.
Right. Well, that was Frank Miller about 40 years after.
Well, that was Uncle Michael Keaton too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once again, that was 50 years after what we're seeing here.
But still, it was, like I said, It was great. My question is that where are they leaping from? I know Superman could jump like leaping bounds. Where are they coming from?
My thinking is they knew they were going to take a picture, so they set a camera on the top of the building. Superman took them up into the sky, dropped all 3 of them, and they just descended.
One giant leap for Superman.
Yeah,
Holy crap! Hang on.
Okay, guys, it's coming up. The character. Yeah, don't scream, Robin. You got to stop screaming. You're not going to die.
You're not going to drop me, are you? Of course not.
Robin has
Holy
the best,
gravity, Batman.
Robin has the best expression. He has Christian Slater smirk.
There you go.
Is a 10, dude. How can you not get the 10? It's great.
You know that thing they put on Twitter once in a while of your pictures taken seconds before death.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thousand ways to die.
This is it.
All righty, Pixel. How about you?
Hi, I'm Pixel.
Hi, Pixel.
No, you're not.
Oh, I'm not. Okay.
Today, the part of Pixel will be played by RDV.
These other RDV.
This is fun. This is fun. I feel like this is probably. I'm going to go 9.
I'm sure you do, but what's your real score?
9.
All righty.
He keeps saying no.
9.
You know what? I did this in wrong order. I counted up. Okay, hold on a second. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All righty then. You know what? This is a lot of fun. I do agree with Pixel, however, and I'm giving it a 9. Let's go to the chat.
If we go to the chat.
He's on the backstage.
If we go to the chat, Pixel drops out, and we start with
if he's on his
Jose
iPad. Yeah,
Sarango. He
He's
says,
there.
I give it a 9.
Hey.
All right, so
Kick me off.
If we go to the chat, we kick him again.
I guess.
We start with Jose.
No, we're on Michael.
We're on Michael Taylor.
Michael Mouse Taylor says, "Oh boy, this is a 10."
He missed it the other night. We had Minnie was voicing Mickey as well. Jim Sorensen gives it a 9.
Yes, he does. Tony Hayes gives this a 9 as well.
And Desert Rose says 9 too.
It's
And
like-
so does Joe.
I don't understand these
He
9.
gives it a 9, a bouncy 9.
What Pixel gave a reason why he thinks it's on a 9. Like, what keeps them from giving it a 9? You know, do they agree? Yes, whatever. Like, it just feels like let's all put 9s. Okay, guys.
It's like it's there, but it's not. It's there, but it's not quite there. By the way, Monday is the 40th anniversary of Spinal Tap, and it's back in theaters.
Are they missing the red, white, and blue on the cover? It's there.
Yes,
It's there.
Jay Lucian gives us a 10.
Dark Admiral March here says 10. Classic cover.
Darth Kato says meow, 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 which is 6.
Every party has a pooper. That's what we invited you, Darth Kato.
The characters are drawn well, but
And once again, sorry for the mix-up there, Darth Kato.
But he says nothing is happening. What do you mean? They're leaping.
They're about to throw Robin to his death.
I know, right?
holy virgin sacrifice, Batman.
Oh, Batman made sure Robin wasn't a virgin. Just listen to Frank Wortham. He'll tell you the whole story.
Frederick.
Frederick, thank you.
Robin.
Friends called him Frank, Eric. If you weren't in the circle, I can't help you.
Robin, we only have one bedroom in this mansion of 15 other rooms. Don't worry about those. I think Drake and goes.
Lil Ray Gar goes 8.
I'll say 10. Says MKF 30. I don't like being skipped by Pixel.
Well,
Joe gives this a non-bouncy 10. There are no bouncing. Bouncing is outlawed in this.
No, he
ranking.
doesn't.
no, he's saying for him, 10 should be something special.
I'm saying he gives it a 10.
10 should be a blonde in cornrows running down the
All right.
beach in a baby one piece.
For something special. Okay.
There you go.
I guess everyone has a different kind of special.
I just mentioned blonde,
some
one
are
piece,
born, and
cornrows.
some actually recognized.
All righty, kids. We had 1-6 and we had 2-8. So you're taking out 3 of the 9 10s, and that drops it to 6. But there were 9 7s or 7 9, excuse me, and this is a 9.
Wait. Kato says, I mean, it's just them falling on top of a tiny city.
Tiny
City.
City.
Oh, okay, we're going tiny city.
It's
Hold
a,
me closer, tiny
it's a heroic
city.
pose. All 3 of them aren't going to be in this book. They're the main draw. It's 2 dads and their kid.
Bo Derek was definitely a 10, and the older I get, she still remains hot. All right. So.
I would say the rule is no spoilers.
Right.
I'm not gonna watch it. And
Anyway, if I care, spoil Ironheart. They spoiled it already. I do know they brought in Mephisto or something like that.
Mephisto.
So I was like, okay, fine, okay, I'll see this. I put on episode 2. I lasted 10 minutes. As I
that's a record for you.
I can't. Yes, thank you very much, dude. I've been married freaking 32 years now. If it takes more than 2 minutes, we're doing it wrong.
Wasn't Mephisto involved with the Dark Hold?
All righty, here we go, Eric. Or RDV. Now it's your turn. Issue number 2.
Oh no, man, nothing's happening on it. We just got Rob Liefeld in the middle.
We got some good smiles. Nice face.
I'm sorry, he looks like Rob Liefeld, Robin. I guess it's supposed to be like based on George Reeves' Superman. I'm not sure when George Reeves.
Oh, this is long before that.
Yeah.
George Reeves was fresh off of his role on Gone with the Wind.
Yep.
But it's creepy seeing Batman smile. But man, that Robin, it's got a chipmunk smile there. I'm gonna honestly though, I'm gonna go 7 with this. It's because I do like the pose, but and it has the red, white, and the blue this time, which is great on the cover. The red, white, and the blue.
Okay.
Before it didn't have that before, but yeah, I'll go 7.
All righty. And how about you, Pixel?
Hi, I'm Pixel.
Hi, Pixel. How are you doing today?
Do you have a name tag you can just wear?
Oh,
It's right under your icon. It says Pixel.
Doesn't say Pixel. I can promise you that.
It does say Pixel.
I think 9 is fitting for this one too.
Okay. And how about you, Eric?
Just as long as nobody tells me where their hands are in this picture.
Well, Robin's hands are down at his side, but those 2 guys are standing very close.
I'm afraid it has something to do with the smiles.
Yeah.
I think they're both touching him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Robin, and these are my Uncle Bad touches. I'll go 9.
I touch good.
Smile for the camera, Robin.
Alrighty. I think this is a very serviceable cover, and I get the era it is in, and you have to have the big title and such this is a Walmart portrait, guys. I'm giving this a 6.
Robin's face is what ruins it. He's got the Rob Liefeld look, man.
Alrighty, let's see. We got 4. Let's go to the chat.
We start with
one call and said they're sorry they're not up to your standards.
Alrighty.
Michael Mouse Taylor says, "Oh boy, this is a 9."
Yeah, it looks more like a War Bonds poster. 10 says Dark Admiral. Jose Sarango. I like this more than the previous one, but I will give it another 9. Now, Darth Kato says 8. I actually like this one a little more. Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
He hates everything.
Joe says 7. Too basic bitch.
And Desert Rose says 9, just like Mickey.
I didn't see Juggernaut. Where did you get basic? Jim Sorensen says 7.
Little Rhaegar gives this a 10.
Kidnaps Pixel so we don't have to hear, "Hi, I'm Pixel." Well, if you kidnap him, he'll say it's you.
Wait, if you're Pixel, who's the guy who says he's Pixel? That was
think the
Pixel's cue to go high. Cue to go high on Pixel again.
I think the only person that will
Oh,
say
I'm sorry, it was kidnapped.
the only people who say hi on Pixel are the people who aren't Pixel.
Okay.
Bad news for you.
Because why would you say your why would you announce your name unless you're 10-second Tom?
I got good news for everybody. Looney Tunes is on HBO Max right now.
Oh, they put it back?
Yep. Well, no, it's for the first time. It never,
and the movie's coming out next year in theaters.
well, last like 3 months ago. They buried that shit. Anyway,
No, yeah, it's supposed to come out in theaters next year.
they're putting it back out in theaters.
The Wild Coyote one?
No. This is a Looney Tunes movie they released a couple of months ago. They buried that shit.
I'm not talking about that one. Yeah, I'm talking about
I am. That's the one that's on
the
HBO
one
Max.
the one they were going to release. Somebody bought the actual movie.
Yeah, that one is not on HBO Max now.
Yeah.
And MK says Robin looks evil. He gives it an 8.
Yeah, and Dragon gave it a 6.
Alrighty, so we have 2 6s and 3 7s, taking out those 2 10s and 3 of the 5 9s. There's 2 9s left, but these 2 8s take that out, and this is an 8. Alrighty, cool.
They're all wearing mouth guards, you know that? Those chompers.
Chomper, sick balls.
What?
All right, let's go for book 3 in Pixel. It's time for you. Chopper, sick balls. You never heard that? Stand by me. All righty, Pixel, here you go. Book 3.
Batman. You know the great thing about this? Robin's good at catching.
Holy handful of balls, Batman. This is ridiculous, but you know what? I like it. It's fun. It's a corny 10.
All righty. 10 from Pixel. How about you, Eric?
Let's see. There's no batter's box. The point of the plate is facing in the wrong direction. Some real sportsmen on this cover.
Oh my gosh, he's aiming out because it's a sports cover. This is awesome. Keep going, my friend.
I needed you to say, it's fine.
After the pitch, there's a good chance that 3 balls are going to drop. But I used to be able to walk into the room down the hall, look over the door frame, and stare at my copy of this. So I'm going to give this I used to have this 10.
All righty. RDV, what do you say?
Who's a better umpire, Angel Hernandez or Superman?
Oh God, what's his the CB Buckner?
Yeah,
because he's the worst thing that ever happened to him was Angel Hernandez being fired because he's the other DEI hire that they can't get rid of.
Yep. Now all attention's on him now.
He's dreadful.
Yep. Yeah. Despite it be the plate being turned around, and honestly, I don't even care about the batter's box because I used to have, like, when I was a kid, you could buy a home plate and all different bases you want to at Walmart, and you can throw them wherever you want to. You have a makeshift field. So anyway, so I'm gonna go 10 with this because it's fun.
All right, me too. This is why people like me praise the golden age or the silver age. Yeah, the writing isn't as advanced. It's not as mature as modern day writing is, but it is fun.
Can you imagine this came with a trading card set or like
I think that DC
96 pages wasn't enough for your 15 cents. Jeez.
No, I want my bubblegum.
In all honesty, I think that both companies have missed out on not making cards based out of covers. But anyway, I digress. Let us go.
There's a Batman playing card set with famous Batman covers on it.
Okay, well, there we go. All right, let's get to the chat.
Oh, right. There's a chat. I forgot.
No, there isn't.
Oh, no, there's not a chat. Good to know.
There's just a Ethereal Dragon going.
I'm in Austin Proctor like a doctor saying easy 10. Joe says 9. Classic.
Little Rhaegar coming in with a 10. Hey, where's your little Rhaegar, bro? We get home.
I miss little Rhaegar.
Beep beep. All right. Darth Kato goes meow. 10. He's literally Batman.
Dusty Rose says 9 for book 3, 10 for Pixel laughing.
I think it said Dusty Rose at first. I was like, what?
Dusty Rose. Dusty Rose.
Dusty Rose says.
Yeah, Dusty Rose.
I've wined and dined with kings and queens, and I've eaten at dumpsters with pork and beans.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's you and Rod. MKF to 30 says,
This is a great pitch for a cover. A little batty. It could be one of those indoor batting cages. Hard to tell.
Well, there you go. I can't do that.
Well, you skipped Doc Adelmach here saying 10.
well, I'm taking a play out of your book.
Even superheroes have gotta cut loose and have some fun.
Well, pork and beans.
But then Michael
Mermaids.
Taylor says,
Burger beans.
boy, 9.
I was just watching Blazing Saddles, man. Just that one scene alone. The guy walks out. He just can't sit because they've been farting. Jim Sorson gives it an 8. So who is pitching? Well, that'd be the reader.
But Jackson Roy Kirk says 6.
I think he's Ray Kirk.
Pixel is the people under
Yeah, I don't know who this Roy Kirk is.
We've never heard of a Roy Kirk. We only heard of Ray Kirk here.
Well, he's a poor judge of covers.
Jose Sarongo, definitely 10. Says.
And Jay Lucian adds a 10. Sorry.
All right. And what we ended up with is 1 6, 1 8, and 4 9s trying to take on 10 10s and losing by 3.
Here's the other bad thing about this. You know, Robin's not wearing a cup.
Alrighty. Anywho, let's go for book.
Hang on, who's pitching?
Let's go for book 4. Alrighty. And let's see this
Well,
one.
at least we know who's scoring.
This one is Batman and Superman when they get Robin back. Okay. All right. Sometimes yes, maybe me taking older comics don't fit because I doubt that they are that bright red. Let me see if I can't find it. What is this?
Batman probably wears a back cup when he's playing sports.
World's Finest
No,
number 4. Okay.
no. Back up.
Do we have one that everybody doesn't look like they came down with some sort of red disease? No, we do not.
It's the sun. It's the blinding. It's the snow hitting the sun, hitting the snow.
Well, see, Robin, he might have frostbite going soon. Could be windburn. No.
Well, you know what? The I see the DC Comics version of this, and it ain't much better. Yikes!
God, Superman just yeeted a bunny.
Yeah, why don't you take over there, Eric, and I'll get to it when I'm done.
Eating a bunny?
Yeah.
Take over what?
Yeah, you do your score and
Oh, okay. If I was doing my scoring, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
It's a group effort, guys.
We're all in this together.
Teamwork.
This is awesome. Batman and Robin's cape are bleeding out over into the oh God, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Trade dress. I said you got to give a couple of extra points for the bunny. Yeah, I said Amy and Melissa would. So in the spirit of the Lesters, if this isn't a 10, I don't know what is.
This is a lot of fun. Yeah, I got to tell you, I found a better copy of this, and it's still bright red. in the face. So
Well, it's perfect for Robin because that's, like I said, Superman doesn't feel the elements. Batman's probably got his bad thermal underwear on, and they're making Robin run around his booty shorts.
Can I wear pants yet, Batman?
Alrighty, RDV, what do you think?
Cross country skiing back in the 40s, dude, that's crazy. Like, you think they'll have like goggles on, but apparently this is just a kid's book, so they don't put logic into it.
They're superheroes; they don't need them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The masks double as goggles.
So, hey, if Robin can do this, and Batman can come back from space with just wearing his underwear over his face, I don't know why you guys complaining. Oh, it looked better when I didn't see Robin's face.
Yeah, these are the two copies.
Right.
It's a little bit like
Why
the
does
snow
Robin looks Japanese in this
the
one.
snow is
Doesn't
brighter on this one, but the guys aren't as red on this one. So
That's okay.
Oh, Robinson.
Robin's
Holy fuck, Batman.
holy shit. Jeez.
No.
what do you give this, RDB?
I give it a 10, dude.
All right, how about you, Pixel?
I can see where they got wacky sports from.
What do I give this? That's a good question.
We asked.
Yeah.
But do you know who I am?
I have no idea.
There's no one we never
I'm
know.
Pixel.
Oh, thank you for telling us.
Now you know.
I hate that guy.
You're like a PSA. The more you know. Da, 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 da.
The more you know.
You and Abbott have so much alike.
There's stars flying out into space. Next, he's going to be the NBC Peacock.
Start spread.
This is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I love it. Yeah, it's a 10. If I give baseball Batman a 10, I'm going to give skiing Batman a 10.
All right.
The rabbit is random, though, now that somebody mentioned
We're
it.
all unanimous here, so let's go to the chat.
Well, the alternate cover is like a giant polar bear, eviscerating Robin.
Okay. Let's start with Austin Proctor giving this 10.
Jay saying 8. Hello.
So does Jim. He's dead, Jim.
Why are they getting sunburned in the snow? 7, says Rhaegar.
And then, okay, I want to give another 10. 10 it is, says Jose Sarong.
10 it is.
Desert Rose says, I'm going blind. 8.
Anyone else disturbed that he can do that perfectly? I thought Amy was
I
here.
know, right?
You should have heard his last. You should have heard his last.
No, and you know why I'm not disturbed by that?
No, but
the guy with the deepest voice any of us have heard in our lifetime can do that.
That's true.
Actually, no. What you actually heard.
After that, the girly man like Pit.
No, yes. Yesterday you said I think did you say to Amy? It's like, gee, if only. It's like Pixel's so much better than that. You're. I think it was you telling Amy about that. He said, "No, if only a Pixel here to do the girl voices."
I wasn't here yesterday. Remember?
No, not.
It's a while back.
Oh,
this was on the day that Pixel wasn't here.
Well, you have to be more specific. He's never around when you need him.
I know, right? Anyway, it is fine. A 6.
Mm-hmm. Joe says 8, like the bunny. Hop, hop, hop.
Just some silly trivia. Previous issue number 3 was Scarecrow's first appearance.
Michael Mouse Taylor says, oh boy, 9.
The Bunny was fine, but he became a villain after this interaction. He's a cousin of mine. Oh my gosh. Is he related to the Warner Brothers rabbit?
Ethereal Dragon gives this a 8.
Teddy Roosevelt? Is he you?
What?
It's
How is that
because
Teddy Roosevelt?
he didn't sound like Tasmania. It sounded like some old fat guy.
Don't you dare insult Teddy Roosevelt.
I don't have to. He does himself.
He's got a big stick to hit you with.
Yeah. Here's fun fact about him. He took the "In God We Trust" off the quarter.
Okay, so we have 1617, taking out 2 of the 7 tens. So there's 5 left. We have 6 8s, and that takes out the rest of the 10s and the 1 9. This is an 8, ladies.
Did we answer MK's question?
We never got to it.
Yeah, well, I think we did. I'll do that one.
All right.
Yo, poor Robin must be freezing. Also, what is the better song, guys? Pat Benatar, "Love is a Battlefield" versus Blondie, "Call Me," and this is a 10.
I think I said "Told it all suburb."
I'm totally not.
Love
sad.
is a battlefield.
Call me.
That's
That's
Call
right.
Me.
We're singing our votes.
Call Me has the Doctor Who kind of like that synthwave in the.
Well, I don't remember falling asleep when I heard it.
Alrighty, RDV. Here is book 5, and book 5 kind of looks a little bit.
There's
like
nothing
this.
wrong with the introduction of Doctor Who. It's when he actually gets to the actual people in the cast.
96 thrilling pages.
And I agree with Eric on this one.
10.
Call Me. I love Love is a Battlefield, but Call Me is.
So do I.
Can't even remember. Who's ranking this?
This is RDV starting.
I already did it.
What did you say?
I said 10.
Alrighty, how about you, Pix?
No. I like what it's going for, but like to go ahead and have where you have the people sitting in the theater and then immediately to the left, the silhouette is wrong. Like, why do you have the random lines there to make the outline? Like, why not? It's just a little irksome thing. Also, I get what it's going for. I just this one, I don't think it's really.
Is there a war
I'm
box?
not a communist. I just don't like it as much. I'm still gonna go.
What, capitalism?
Huh?
I always knew you were a little bit yellow there. So
Alrighty, how about you, Eric?
Is that a collective vote there?
Yes, every pixel voted, and we all voted 8.
Okay. Now I think I made Pixel vote. This is an 8. This was actually the original size of our audience for our readings until they heard one of them, and now it's just some guy and 2 creatures.
yeah, now they're on the left. Now they took out one of the person. They cut them off.
I don't know what more you could ask for in a cover. Yeah, this is great. This is another 10.
Alrighty.
Jose Sarango gives this a number 9.
Doc Animal Macho says, yeah, what's up, Doc? It's a 10.
Rhaegar gives us a beeping 10.
Go ahead, do the dragon.
To the dragon. 8.
Desert Rose gives this a 9.
So dice Joe.
Darth Cato gives this a meowing 10. Pixel's a communist, says Rhaegar. Where are the robots, says Jackson.
Michael Mouse Taylor says, oh boy, this is a 10.
Yeah, I got it. Tony Hayes with the comment of the night so far. However, you overestimated it. Then 96 thrilling pages for 15 cents. Now 22 pages of woke shit for $5.
But not everything though. There's still good stuff.
Right, but but when you get the woke shit, it's usually 22 pages.
Yeah.
Tony Hayes.
It's 22 pages of a story. No, actually no. Sometimes you get about 21. But even though it's billed as like a 32 page, it's all ads for other woke shit.
Jim's Sin gives us a Jim Soren 10.
right, cool. Did you get Michael Miles Taylor?
Yes. MK is the only person left.
MK is the only person left. What do you mean? We got 2 other people.
On the planet.
I know. I'll go with 10.
Oh,
There,
actually-
Peter Rogic. Jay, you don't count anymore.
MK says,
Oh, and
I'll
Jay
go
comes
10 because I'm not a communist.
Exactly. By the way, one skipped host to says that it's a 10 as well.
I was wondering if you noticed. I just went through the chat.
I
I'm
noticed right away, but I was wondering if you guys are going to say anything. But with this one has 2 8s, 3 9s, 11 10. So this is very clearly a 10.
I figured you wrote it down anyway.
I did. I'm not hurt by it at all. All righty.
I don't want to talk to you guys. It's my
Let's
party.
see. Go for book 6, and this is Pixel again.
Hi. Guess what?
What?
You're not Pixel.
And
I'll
don't
try
freaking
to- I'll
want to be.
try
Have
to
you
get-
seen him?
I'll try to move past that.
But I am. Anyway.
You
Yeah,
mentioned
we'll all try to move
patriotism.
past that.
That is a patriotic cover.
This is a patriotic cover. My only problem is I don't like how that sailor is drawn. He is not drawn very well.
Not gay enough for you?
A little too gay there. But no.
Everyone has AIDS, 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 AIDS.
In the Navy.
We talking about Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen, if he spoke like this. That's exactly what it looks like. This is great, though. I'm going to go 9, only because I can't forgive what
The
they did
Navy?
to that sailor.
You know, that not everyone holds up to your standards of real life how they look. Just because, wow.
He doesn't like gingers. He's going off on that.
Ralph Dibny would never be able to serve in the army. Just because of him.
What do you give this, Pix?
A 9.
He gave it a communist 9.
Alrighty, and how about you, Eric?
So, just for tonight, how about I call you Lois?
Like, I don't think that's impossible, sir. I'm good. Bye.
Another 10.
Alrighty, RDV, what do you think?
Truth, Justice, and the American Way. 10.
Alrighty, and I agree with that. I had my pick already up there.
Oh,
Alrighty,
guys.
let's go to the chat.
In the chat, we start on.
Little R gives this a 10.
The ethereal drain comes in with a 9.
Michael Mouse Taylor says, "Oh boy, this is a 10."
Dark Admiral March Harris says, "Hey, what's up there, Doc? Give us a 10. It's better than Marvel. Hey."
Darth Cato says meow, 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 which is 10 for all our men and women in uniform.
Tony Harris says, "God bless America." 10.
Desert Rose says, "YMCA, I'll give it a 10."
Can Pixel do a Mephisto voice?
What would a Mephisto voice be?
Well, apparently you would sound like Sacha Baron Cohen now.
I haven't seen Borat enough to even try to do that. I was going to. Joe gives this a 9.
You'll go to
9.
hell now. It's nice. I'm sorry. There you go.
All right.
Please
9.
continue.
Stripes should be pointing down.
Is that who's playing Mephisto?
Yep.
Why would stripes be going down?
I don't know.
But did you see the meme that Mike Barron posted today?
Oh, yeah. I
Silver Surfer, I've come to. Your planet is doomed.
That's
And
what
we
I
ask why? Because Galactus is tired of seeing Pedro Pascal and everything.
Yeah, that's what I shared in the group.
I didn't ask you. I asked E. He never looks at anything.
Yeah, I saw that. I looked in the group. That was funny as hell because we're tired of seeing that.
What's second season? Like, that's enough of that.
It was the weird thing, though. As after that post, he asked who's gonna take over posting after you die.
That's true. I did.
Jay Lucian gives this a 7.
A 7.
And Jim Sorensen gives it a Jim Soren 10.
Alrighty then. MK says, well, who would win, Dr. Doom versus Doomsday? 10 here. Current Dr. Doom would lose.
Dr. Doom and Fantastic Four 58 would have a shot.
Yeah.
Because he'd just stolen Silver Surfer's power cosmic. And Dr. Doom in Secret Wars 11 would wipe the floor with Doomsday.
I didn't realize it, Joe, because I was looking at him like his Anglety's background blends right in with the freaking cover. I was
Damn
like,
straight.
I was like, what do you mean? It looks like a flag going across. And I realized, I can see the tearless background on in the middle there.
Let's see, 10.
Domsday Doom would win. I don't know who is Domsday.
All right, we let me get the stop here.
Is it Dominic Toretto? Is Domsday Elbow family?
Well, the problem
Dominic
with
Mysterio?
the problem with Doctor Doom versus Doomsday is that Doomsday, if he's destroyed by something, is now immune to being destroyed by that thing, and there's nothing Doctor Doom could whip up.
Yeah, Rhaegar, that was Secret Wars 11. That's what I was talking about.
All right, we have 1 7 and 4 9s. We got 11 10s. This is a 10, ladies and gentlemen.
It's 10. It is a 10.
All right. And at this point, we're standing with 2 8s, 1 9, and 3 10s. Not bad. All righty, let's go for book 7. And Eric, here we go. And these are actually, this is pretty good covers here. I knew some of them would be, some of them are just iconic, like this one.
Hi, I've just been reminded that I'm not Pixel.
We know.
Hello, not Pixel.
Wait, you're not?
And congratulations on not being Pixel or pixelized.
I got a figure for you.
See, in my mind's eye, there's a word balloon where one of them is saying, and this one's for the ladies.
So what do you give this, Eric?
I'm going to keep that 10 train a rolling.
All righty. Me too. Once again, like I said, this is a very iconic cover. It's a lot of fun. And hey, remember to buy war bonds. And isn't the Navy awesome? RDV, what do you say?
Pixels are not Pixel. Because he always voices Robin. Robins were like, yeah, the first time I had something big between my legs before. No, they're in the Navy, and the little guy's happy because no one's touching him, but his legs are now frozen to the metal there because he has no pants.
Sometimes it just sticks to the side. Oh wait a minute.
So would it be in poor taste if I said Batman's saying, I've got my work cut out for me when we get home?
Yeah. It'd be better if they were running the bullets flying in the air, like But yeah, I'm going 10 with this. This is great.
All right.
They must be going into Japan territory.
Why isn't Robin's cape, flapping in the wind?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's a legitimate question, I think. Unless the ship itself is blocking it.
Maybe,
but it's kind of like it should be where theirs is angled. His should be just back, going ahead and just.
Maybe they're saying he's not important, so he doesn't get to have a flank cape.
What did you score this, Pix?
Oh, I didn't.
Okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and score this. This one. This one's a 10.
All righty. How about you, RDV?
I give it a 10.
All right. Let's get to the chat.
I'll tell you 5 minutes later. No, so remember.
Then it'll be a 20.
Yep. What we got here?
10.
Michael Moss Taylor.
Michael Mouse Taylor says, "Oh boy, this is a 10."
Joe says so too.
And so does Desert Rose.
Ethereal Drinking gives it a 10.
Doc Animal March has a. Yeah, what's up, Doc? This is also a 10 from me.
Darth Giddle gives us a perfect 10. Robin was very happy to find out that his barrel was just as big as Batman and Superman's.
Jim Sorensen says Jim Sorensen.
Look at the love guns on those heroes. Post-climax.
Love guns. Love guns.
Yes, we know, we heard you. Little Rhaegar says 10.
Tony Hayes says it was the happiest day in Robin's life. 10.
MKF 30 says 10.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, for what, the 8th time out of 200?
I'm not sure it's been that many.
We have a pure 10. All righty. That
Don't
is.
worry, someone will come in and say 9.
I know, right?
We don't have well, yeah. We did get Desert Rose. Yeah.
I know. I'm calling it.
Jackson gave us a 10.
I know,
Everybody
right?
gave it a 10.
He's been so cranky, not even giving anything a 10.
There you go. All right. Let's
Let's go to the next one before we find he didn't vote.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he didn't vote yet. Go, go.
Okay, so here we go. Book 8, RDV.
Oh, this is great. Sink the Japanazis. What?
Oh, wow.
Sink the Japanazis with bonds and stamps. This is awesome.
10.
This is awesome.
Yep. It's a 10. I love it.
It's a lot of fun. All righty, Pixel, what do you say?
Well, if I'm really communist, I'm going to go ahead and give this a low. No. This is.
Jackson voted on the last one and you gave it a 10.
This. Yeah. This isn't a classic propaganda 10.
Okay. How about you, Eric?
Pixel, why do I just know you had one of those pinwheel beanies when you were a child?
I know, right? Even though it was like 60 years out of
But
style.
you know what?
Yeah.
I wish I did.
I've no doubt Dalton had one.
I think Dalton would have had the first top hat beanie.
I think he would have took out Abraham Lincoln for the hat.
Okay.
He did.
Wait, do you mean take him out or take him out like on a date?
Well,
You know, if you believe the rumor.
yeah, and then Abe after push him out of the, it actually makes sense. If he killed Lincoln, he jumped out. Remember how what's his name broke his leg?
There you go. He yelled, yes. What was it? Sick temper, some Tyrannus. That's how Dalton ended up in a wheelchair. He was the guy who shot Lincoln and then jumped onto stage.
And they took his hat.
He's like, give me the hat. It wasn't any Sic Semper Tyrannus or whatever it was. It was, give me the hat. And he grabbed it and he jumped.
The real plot twist, Dalton actually did take out Abraham Lincoln to the theater. It was Mary that shot and framed Dalton, which is why Dalton had to jump.
We now know the truth.
And knowing is half the battle.
He said, give me a stage, a bouncy stage. Oh, damn,
Give
it's not
me
bouncy.
a steak. All righty. So who does it? Who hasn't?
Oh, he
voted
did
on it?
bounce.
I haven't.
All righty. What do you say there, Eric?
Well, I'm points for the pixel fingers there at the bottom of the panel.
All right.
But, of course, this is a 10.
Okay, I'm agreeing. Let's go to the chat.
They won a kid's hand, the left hand, by Superman's cape. It looks like it just came out of idle hands. It's decrepit.
Tiny idle hands.
Tiny baby out of hands.
All right, I think we have a perfect 10 again.
Hands.
Rhaegar says 10. Oh, by Dark April March Hare, saying 10 as well.
Desert Rose says this is a 10. And so does Michael Mouse Taylor. Oh boy!
Darth Kato said this is great. We're talking about Dalton or talking about the cover? 10. If they Dragon says 10.
Tony Hayes says, I give this one a 12 with a propeller. That's a 10. Joe says 10 for defeating the Japanazis.
The Japanazis.
The Japanese.
All right, this pronounces just for you, Manja reader.
Manja reader. Okay, yeah, I get you. The Japanese shit. Yep. Okay, Manja reader. Yep.
Yep. I just read the side 10.
All righty.
Michael Mouse Taylor just wants to add that the text alone makes it a 10.
Jim Sorensen gives us a Jim Soren 10.
Eddie, what's wrong with you? 4.
Yeah, the sign alone's worth more than 4.
We found the one guy who's
Every party has a pooper that we invited.
I suspect if he'd been here any earlier, we would not have had an immaculate 10.
Yeah,
but we do. But we do.
Jackson of the Raykirk says, ain't no AI hands on that cover. 10.
Cool.
Oh, MK.
Where do you see MK?
He's below Eddie.
He's doing what, Eddie?
No, he didn't say under. He said below.
Oh, that on the 4. Okay.
Below. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, here's the you can't say that and then I have to read his comment. It says, okay, here's a big one. Original Godzilla versus
You gotta tell us.
Original Godzilla versus Jews. I mean Jaws, which is better. I'll say 9.
Wait, original Godzilla versus Jaws. Okay, Godzilla's awesome at Jaws.
Hold on. Is that with or without Ironside?
Yeah, the American version or the Japanese version, both Jaws wins, but one is definitely
It's not. I don't think it's as cut and dried as I mean, Godzilla's getting a couple votes. The original Godzilla was a creepy, like movie.
Yeah, ain't no bottom, angry face. It's all fun and games, so you get poked in the butt.
Anyway, with that, I must go. I have an Australian that's finally back that I have to go and spend some time with.
I have to go too as well.
Is Joe joining you tonight?
Joe is going to be joining us tonight.
So that's your night to watch him.
Okay, so on that one, by the way, we did have 1, 4. Oh, wait, no, I'm reading the wrong number. 1, 4, 1, 9, and 16 10s. This is definitely a 10.
All right, I'll see you kids later.
You have fun with your reading.
You have fun with your non-perfect 10s now, because Eddie's gonna say 4.
Eddie's gonna be the contrarian here. Yeah. All right, let's get it going here.
Yeah. In order to vote now, you get a super chat, guys.
All right, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice every freaking night? If people actually did it and voted with the same numbers.
No.
Okay, what are we on here? We're on book 9. All right, which would have been Pixel. So I think I'll take it over. And here we go. Book number 9. Knock out the Axis with bonds and stamps, and they're throwing baseballs at the heads of what looks like Hitler, Stalin, and I guess that would be Mao at the time. No, it's the Japanese
Ito.
primordial. Who?
Ito.
Okay. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Mussolini.
Mussolini. Okay, there you go.
Because remember we weren't initially, but
Stalin and the Russians ended up being somewhat allies for a little bit.
Well, yeah, because the Germans invaded Russia.
Yep. Alrighty. Emperor Hirohito, says Rhaegar. And Benito, says Tony. Alrighty, I got it wrong. I apologize. What do you think there? Oh wait, no. Okay, what I think here is this is another 10. It's a fun fucking cover. Everybody looks in proportion. They're drawn well, and they're throwing baseballs at the axis. What would you not love here? Maybe a background, a fair background or something. Eric, what do you think?
I want to know why the most powerful being in the universe had to throw from a closer distance than Ron.
I know, right? You keep missing. You're destroying the houses behind him. Just walk up to him.
This 10. I mean, shit. For symbolism alone, for the jingoism alone.
There you go. I don't think you and I are jumping off this 10. I think damn near every. Wait, no, I gave one a 6. I think that's it. Alrighty, so going to the chat, we have Ethereal Dragon giving this a 10. Alrighty, scrolling on down. You really grown up this comic, says Eddie. Are you saying grown or blown? Let's see. Darth Kato gives this a 10, as well as Desert Rose and Dark Admiral March here. So we have 1, 2, and 3 as well. It was a mistake to help the Russians and the French, says Ethereal. Quit stalling and rate this, says Jackson. All right, guys. All right, let's see. We have a 9 from Jackson Raykirk. There we go. MK, I like the original Godzilla, but so do I. Michael Taylor says 10, and so does Ed Raymond in the form of a 6. All righty. Wait a second, I did that thing again here. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, let's see. Next up, Rhaegar says 10 of 10. Darth Kato saying if Superman throws that ball too hard, it's going through the guy's head. Truth. Tony Hayes says 10. Alrighty. 1 and 2 10s. Let's see. Jim Sorensen gives this a 9. Alright. And Joe gives it a 9. A bouncy 9. Saying it's probably Toho. Alrighty. And let's see, a Rocky cover, and who has a cooler design, 90 Zod versus Count Zenefra. I guess that means Nefaria.
Yeah, which Count Nefaria? I mean, his nobleman tuxedo was kind of just blah, but the uniform he gave himself in that Avengers storyline when he took everybody's powers and beat the shit out of the Avengers. That was a pretty cool costume.
All right. What we have here is
written by the late great Jim Shooter.
3 9s, 10 10s. Yeah, this is a big old 10 fest. This is a slobbery love fest on these covers. All righty, and deserve it. These are awesome. These are fun covers. So yeah, right now we're sitting with 6 10s, 1 9, and 2 8s. Alrighty, here you go, Eric. Let's go for 10. And Eric, it looks a lot like this.
This one I'm gonna say 9.
Okay.
The only reason why I love everything about this cover, except for they should have reversed the image on Superman to make him, unless he's guarding the everybody else on the cover from something. He looks just like he's cut and pasted.
Everybody's cut and pasted.
Yeah, but everybody else at least is facing forward.
Okay.
So, but Superman just looks like somebody took like a color form and just tossed him out there.
All right. Yeah, that's it. It really does look. This is a lazy cover. I just said it's a 10 fest, and then this one is what we see. I'm giving it a 5. It is literally meh. It is a lazy ass cover. All right, let's go to the chat and see what they say. Okay, gang, gotta head out. Have a good night, says Jackson. We've got good
night, Jackson.
Saying Eric Breen, the one where he looks like Doctor Strange with the yellow rope across his chest and the N on his belt.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Okay. Rhaegar gives this an 8. Alrighty, and then we have Good Night, Mr. Jackson. That is, if you're nasty, says Desert Rose. All right, let's see. Dark Admiral says 9. And then we have a 10 from Tony Hayes and an 8 from Desert Rose and a 6 from Eddie Raymond. 10, 8, and 6. 10, 8, 6. Okay. Scroll down here. What else do we got? Joe gives it a 7, a bouncy 7. Alrighty, and then we have what do we got? MK, the original 54 Godzilla, King of Monsters, best Godzilla in my opinion. Alrighty, Darth Kato says 5. This is a mess. Not a fan of the banner in the middle of the cover either. Alrighty, we got another 5, and then Ethereal gives it an 8, and so does Michael Taylor. Zoinks and zoinks. Gee, I leave and all the low scores come out, says Jackson. You were the one that was keeping us together, dude. And then MK gives this a 7. All right, it's not the best of covers. Just gotta admit it. All righty.
You know, both Jaws and the original Godzilla ushered in completely different, new ways to tell stories of a certain genre. They're both arguably the best that either genre has ever produced, and both declined rather rapidly the more movies like that were made. Now Godzilla's kind of reversed and is taking itself seriously again. I wonder if that means we might end up getting some kind of seriously made Jaws remake type.
It might be one of those things where it's like Steven Spielberg said, "Over my dead body." But they've already made sequels, so I don't see him doing that. I'd say go for it. Why not?
Seriously, if Jaws 4 or whatever, Electric Sharkaloo didn't kill him, I don't see why a serious remake, an homage to the original would.
I don't know. I'd give it a shot. I've seen a lot of lazy ass Jaws ripoffs. Might as well see Universal do a lazy ass Jaws ripoff.
And I don't think there's ever been, and I don't think any of the modern Godzillas have topped the original. I mean, obviously the special effects are just world class now versus then, but there was something about that original. Even though you didn't really see him until the end, you just got glimpses of him.
I don't know. I truly believe just last year, or was it last year or the year before, we did get the best Godzilla movie ever made, and that was Godzilla -1. But it did take that much time to dethrone the original Godzilla without Iron Bottom or whatever his name was.
Side.
Yeah, no, I was just messing around. All right, we got 2 5s taking out the 1 10 and one of the 9s. We got 1 6 taking out the 1 9 that's left. And then we got 2 7s working on 5 8s. 3 8s are left, and that's where this lands. All righty. Next up, we're going to book 11. All righty. And I have seen it. It is, I would love a Jabberjaw movie if they wanted to do that. Not live action. Let's go flat, just normal, old-fashioned animation. And here we have book 11, where we see Robin and Batman and Superman planting a garden and harvesting the whole 9 yards. All righty. Notice they're not fighting criminals really or anything like that on these covers. That being said, colors are good. Ground looks all right. Fruit and vegetables look okay. All the characters are drawn well. I'm going to give this one a 9. What do you say, Eric?
Did you say characters or characters? Characters.
Characters. Yes, the characters.
I'm going to go 1 higher because this. Right. Not only is it well done proportionately, you can say that the sky is the background. You've even taken the time to have Robin wiping his brow because where Superman's got all these powers, Robin's working his ass off there.
Yep.
It's like he's tilling and hoeing, and Batman's just holding a little spade, probably going work, old chum.
Sure. Oh, this is 1943, Eddie. So we're dealing with Golden Age. This would have been, of course, during the war. So what you're seeing here is these are war effort things. This is the thing you can do that helps the country and so forth and so on. They did a lot of these kind of covers. Alrighty, they're doing what the commies and Chaz could not do, growing actual crops, says Rhaegar, giving this a 9. And then we have a 10 from scrolled up, 7 from Darth Cato and a 10 from Dark Admiral. Okay, 7 and 10. Next up, we have 9 from Desert Rose. And then we have Robin should definitely not be hoeing. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much money I could get with a kid in that kind of shape? All righty, let's see. 9 different type of, not that I advocate that kind of stuff at all. No. All right, let's see. We have 9 different type of patriotic cover, says Joe. Alrighty, and how about Godzilla 98, aka Zilla versus Jaws 3D? Which is better? Jaws 3D, because it was filmed in SeaWorld, and I loved going around there, and that was an awesome time to be alive and a SeaWorld fan because they had great white shark. That's when they brought in the shark encounter. The movie itself is okay, but then again, so is Godzilla, and he says 9. All righty. Let's see. 10, great cover, very Americana, World War II, says Tony Hayes. Next up, it was nice knowing you guys, says Rhaegar. What? World War, not surprised, doing friendly. Yep. Jim Sorensen says 9. Tony Hayes, it's 4 hours from here, or was. What are we talking about? Let's see. I think the only time they showed Godzilla on the bottom of the ocean was in the original King of the Monsters when he's being poisoned.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Alrighty, and Eddie says 7. Jim, I think I got Jim's 9 already. Okay, this has 2 7s. It's got 3 10s, but it's got 6 9s. This lands in the 9s. All right, let's get the stop. Let's see. Oh, Chaz. All right. Eddie. Jaws 3 had Lou Gossett Jr. in it. It did. All righty. And a Bess Armstrong. I kind of had a crush back in the day.
On Louis Gossett Jr.?
Yeah. But
no judgment.
Yep. All righty.
It's the bald thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I knew my future. All righty. So here we go. That's the last. Oh, Ethereal gave this an 8. All righty. 3 takes out the 10s. 9s are left. All righty. Here we go for book 12. Eric, last book of the night. Here we go. And it is. Oh, are they on ice or water? Yeah, they're kind of parasailing.
They're on ice.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you say, sir?
Why not? I'm going to go 10.
All righty, we got a 10 from Eric, and you know what? Yeah, sure. Let's play nice with the last book of the night. For let's see. I have a crush on Orange Crush, says Desert Rose. For me, it's black cherry, or no, it's raspberry, black raspberry Dr. Pepper. That stuff is freaking awesome. And red cream, Barks red cream soda. That is the one that I will never get away from. So Rhaegar gives this a 7, and so does Eddie Raymond. 9, 8, 7. Next up, we go to Michael Taylor, who says 9. And then we have Orange Fanta is better. Darth Cato gives this a 7. Dark Admiral a 9. And then we've got a 7 from Joe, a bouncy 7. And we have another 7 from Ethereal. So we've got 3 7s and a 9. Very 1, 2, and 3. And then we have the little 9 here. Let's see. We have an 8 from Tony and Clint. And Desert Rose says, 7's good. So we get 2 8s.
Come on, Vinny. Make some history for me.
And Darth Cato loves that Orange Fanta. The strawberry and pineapple are really good too, says Joe about Fanta. Too sweet for me. Blue raspberry Fanta is awesome, and I'll say 8 here. And the peanuts or pretzels, the better the snack. All right. We got an 8 to 9. 8 from MK. Berries and cream RC Cola is amazing if you can find it. I will hunt for that. That sounds good. All right, let's get the stop. If you have a last-minute vote, just go right on ahead and put that in. In the meantime, we have 6 7s, taking out the 2 10s, the 2 9s, and 2 of the 8s, but 1 8 is left. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It did manage to not be the worst yet, anyway. The automatically worst. Okay, there we go. That was actually, those are pretty good covers. I love the Golden Age covers.
I'm watching history here.
What are we talking about?
Clayton Kershaw just got his 3,000th strikeout.
Yeah.
But that happened like 5 minutes after they carried their third baseman off the field, and they're losing to the second worst team in baseball. So it's kind of bittersweet, I guess.
Okay.
But it's, like I said, there's only a handful of pitchers that have 3,000 strikeouts in the 160 years of baseball history. So that's a pretty cool accomplishment.
All righty. So what we ended up with was 4 8s, 2 9s, and 6 10s, ladies and gentlemen. Not too shabby. Not too shabby when you don't drop below an 8. There we go. Let me get the papers all set up to do this. Okay. Let me get the comments where they need to be. Let's go with the 8s. And we have 4, right?
Yeah, Tony, White Sox.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the 9s, which is 2 of them. Okay. So let's go with the 8s. Eric. Oh, I should show the books off. Hold on. Let me show the books off first. All right. So this was book 1. And then the skiing was book 2. And book 3 is right here. And then book 4 was the last book. The Sailing, Take Me Away. All right. There we go. Eric, what is your favorite and least favorite of the 8s?
First, well, Tony, they're better than they were last year. Unfortunately, not that much better. And as long as the Rockies are still masquerading as a baseball team, they can't go that low. But favorite is number 2.
Okay.
Least favorite is number 3.
All righty. For me, I'm actually going to go boating on this one. All righty. So I'm going number 4, and my least favorite is number 1. Oh, no, number 3. Number 3. Yep. All right, let's check the chat. Let's see what they got. Darth Cato says 1 and 3. All righty. And then we have 1 and 3 from Michael Taylor as well. 1 and 3. And then we have 2 and 1 from Ethereal. 2 and 1. Next up, there's a funny story I have about blue raspberry snow cones involving my nephew where he's like 4 or 5. Moral of the story is little guy picks everything you don't want, then them repeating. Okay. Yeah, that does happen.
They have been giving him a standing ovation the entire time since I said that 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago.
Eddie Raymond says 1 and 3. Next up, we have 4 and 3 from Desert Rose. And 1 and 4. Hold up. 2 is best because of the rabbit. 1 is worst, says Joe. All right. Next up, we have 1 and 4 from Dark Admiral. And let's see. Tony Hayes, White Sox should not stink so bad. They have been around for 100 years. Imagine Robin 3 instead of not Wonder Woman. Let's see. 3 best, 1 worst is from Jim Sorensen. 3 is best. 1 is the worst. Let's see. 1 and 2 from Rhaegar. 1 and 2. And then Clint says 1 and 3. Then we have Darth Cato. And 2 and 4 is what MK says. 2 and 4. And that is that. All right. Let me get stopped here. Tough question for you. Name the player trivia who started for the Reds back
Paul
in
O'Neill.
Okay, there you go. That was a tough one. All righty, ratioing the 4 of the 8s, we do have a very clear loser, and that's book 3 with 1 positive and 7 negatives. Next up, let's see, that cancels out, but that leaves 2, I guess. Actually, the canceling out would be, and that's book 4, which is the sailing, and then we've got 4 positive. We got 6 positive, but one of those 6 positives has 4 negatives, and that is book 1. So the winner is the skis. And there we have issue number 12, 11, 10, and 9. So now we're going to move to the 9s to find out what is 8 and 7. All righty. Let's go with that. A new idea. Can you stump the Breen?
Not with that weak shit.
All righty. Eric, all I need is your favorite of the 9s. What is your favorite of the 9s there, Eric?
The Garden.
Okay, I agree. The Garden.
It's just a better cover.
It really is. But let's see. Joe says 2, but Michael Taylor says 1. And Desert Rose
says 1.
Trying it out. Desert Rose says 1.
All right, job's yours.
All right. Jim Sorensen says 2, and Dark Admiral says 2. All righty, but Clint and Rhaegar come in with 1s. All right, Stumping the Breen coming to a game show network this fall. Darth Cato says 2. Maybe we could do a Jeopardy thing, but you stump the Breen. Breen takes all comers. But that's under the bridge game we play. Never mind.
Yeah.
We got a fast LOL, but does Eric Breen, who is the second highest baseball closer in history, and 9s, I say 1, says MK.
Trevor Hoffman.
Did I get Darth Cato with his 2? And then we have an Ethereal Dragon 2. Pixel for me, I'll take what's in the box. I'll take what's behind door number 1. All righty, let me get the stop. So did you answer his question?
I did.
Oh, wow. Okay. I could not answer that. I have no idea.
I got one for you.
All right.
The same player was Nolan Ryan and Bob Gibson's 3,000 strikeout victim.
Bo Jackson.
He was a member of the Reds' grade 8 75-76 championship team. That's what somebody that
Johnny
might
Bench?
Get. No, but hey, at least you got a player from the grade 8.
Yeah, that's all I know. That's all I remember, man.
Rose, Morgan, Perez.
Yeah. Pete Rose was a part of it too. God dang it.
Guy named Cesar Geronimo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I bring that up because the guy Kershaw just struck out is such a meatball. I already forgot who it was, and I was watching 5 minutes ago.
Michael Taylor, everybody prefers Amy's voice. As a matter of fact, one viewer has fallen in love with Amy through the voice.
Alan Trammell.
No, it wasn't Alan. His name wasn't Alan, but he's in love with Amy. Yeah.
Hey, Clint, type that in there because I'm curious to see who it actually is.
Who is my favorite? Man, I haven't watched baseball in forever and a day. I couldn't.
That's why I didn't ask you.
Yeah. But I appreciate you at least going back to the era where I was. Like it was in the 70s to about 85, I watched baseball religiously. And then they had a strike and I got pissed and I just stopped watching. All righty. Let me show off the 10s here. All right. And we have book 3. And then we have book 5. Next up, we have book 6. And we have book 7. And this is actually issue number 7, by the way, also. And then we have issue number 8 and issue number 9. All righty. Eric, what's your favorite and least favorite of the 10s?
That's a tough one. And I'm going to kind of cheat. I'm going with number 1 because I used to own it. And God, the least favorite, I gave them all 10s.
Yeah, me too.
I guess where Robin's shaking hands with the sailor,
Alrighty, and that is
or
book
with the army
3.
guy, and Superman's picking up a sailor.
Alrighty. My favorite is the movie theater. I really like that one. I'm gonna go 1.
That was number 2.
Say again.
That was what I would have picked if I had known number 3 at one point.
My least favorite is 6. Alrighty, let's go to the chat and see what they have to say. What are we sending to the bracket fights? This is, by the way, this is the final book for the bracket fights. We will be having those on Friday. Alrighty, so Jim gives this 1 is best and 3 is worst. Alrighty. Next up, we have 6 and 1 from Rhaegar. And then 4 is best, 3 is worst from Joe. 4 and 3. And then let's see. It's the turn back time cover. 1 is best, 4 is worst. Really, y'all are that one is the worst? All right, 1 is best, 4 is worst. Let's see, 5 and 3 says Ethereal Dragon. 5 and 3. Next up, we have 4 and 6 from Desert Rose. 4 and 6. And then we have, okay, here's trivia. Hold on. 5 and 6 from Darth Cato. And then we have, this is a tough one. I guess the best is 6 and 3 is the worst. Okay. And let's see, that was Michael Taylor. What name is given to the line player must stand behind when throwing darts?
You want my answer to that? The fuck kind of question is that? Why don't you ask me something about bridge while you're at it?
MK says 1 is best, 5 is worst. Or 1 is best, 5 is worst. Let's see, is that? Gotta love the brackets. I do. And here we go. Let's. We got the stop. There is no clear winner, by the way. I mean, this is very freaking close. I thought there would be. I thought the tank or the Navy battleship would have been.
Not everybody enjoys. Apparently, not everybody enjoys a good homoerotic cover. The way
I know, right? But there is a clear loser, and that was book 3 with no positives but 5 negatives. Okay, now do we have any that end up in all negatives? Let's see. Nope. Only one other ends up in the negative, and that's book 6. It had 2 positives, 3 negatives. All right, then we have a tie. Oh, nope, I've got to bring this. It's got a 1 positive, but no negatives, but it's still only 1 positive, and I count how many positives. God dang you guys. That's my favorite. And that goes all the way down next. All right. Rules is rules. And then we have 2 and 1, and it's a tie for both book 4 and 5. So they'll stay where they are. And book number 1 with 4 positives, 1 negative wins. So there you go. Your book wins, Eric.
Okay, all-time Babe Ruth, single season Aaron Judge, just in case to cover my bases there.
All righty, so there we go. That is the one we're sending to the bracket fights, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay. I did not know I don't even know how to pronounce that. OCHE. The line you throw behind for darts.
I had no idea either. I don't play darts.
Yeah, I got drunk once and put my hand on a dartboard and told the other guy to aim between my fingers. Luckily, he missed the entire board because that wasn't one of the smartest things I've ever done.
I would have to say no.
Well, luckily, that guy was drunker than me. Might have been the only person in the bar drunker than me. Okay, right. Thank you, Clint.
Okay, let's see. Let me stop sharing this screen and drop that.
Sharon!
And I will start sharing this. And here we go, guys. On Friday, we're going to do the bracket fights. And these are the ones that are going to be in the bracket fight. We've got Black Panther. That was from the Storm covers, the non-X-Men Storm covers. And forgot what this was. Forgot the name of the guy. But then we have the girl, the Supergirl. This was the issue number 200s. This was Gen 13. I believe that was a Jim cover. And then we have Dormer, I believe his name was. And this was video game covers. Then, of course, no, this was the Dormer. Dorman.
Dave
This
Dorman.
one was the EC the Mad was the EC covers. There we go. Dorman. And Dr. Fate. Katie Keene. The fake rock bands. The Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem won that one. X-Men Adventures. Vault of Horror. Jonah Hex, Weird Western Tales, and now World's Finest. And finally, Teen Titans number 14. Alrighty, so there you go. Those are going to be in the bracket fights on Friday. Alrighty, there we go.
I missed 3 or 4 of those.
Really?
Yeah,
You weren't there for the
a couple of them. Well,
That was
obviously
fun.
last night I wasn't there.
Mhm.
I wasn't there for the. Oh, God, I think 2 or 3 of them.
I think you removed yourself for the video games.
No. There was. I remember that I was running late to begin with, and there was already 7 people there.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with the covers themselves. It was just, since I was going to be late anyway, I said I'll sit this one out.
Yeah. There's no. I think I made a joke at you about, stick around, even though you don't know the characters or it's not your thing. Stick around because it really is about the art.
Well, no,
or how
and
fun.
I said it had nothing to do with that. So I didn't appreciate what you said, but I got over it.
Well, yeah, I was
came back
joking.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
No, I said it really was because there were 7 people there already.
I could see that because
I think I might have had to get up in the morning also, and it was going to run pretty late anyway. So
a large panel can make the show a little bit longer.
it also makes it a lot more fun too.
It does. It really does when we're bouncing. But I think that's part of the reason we are bouncing off of each other, and it is. And everybody loves Amy doing the readings. Let's face it. That's one guy a little bit too much, And we do know that MK's got a crush on her, and I think RDV tell you the truth, but that's just me.
I honestly think they are. They're how do I put this? Like in character crushes.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody here is well adjusted to know you're never going to meet them in person, so it's just it's like almost like part of the bit. I don't think that anybody's actually going, oh gosh, I want to get to Florida and meet her someday. I think it's just I think they have a crush. You may have a crush on the character she plays on these things.
No, sir. I met them both in real life.
No, I know you have.
And I'll tell you what, they're a little bit more serious, but what you see is what you get. I mean, what you hear.
But I'm saying, but they're never gonna meet the actual person, so they're
Probably
actually.
not, no.
I mean, it's like, I'm probably not saying that, explaining that very well, but I don't think. Yeah, I said I don't think we have to worry about. I don't think they have to worry about like putting restraining orders out on.
No. Although I don't know.
Hey, I've got a crush on them. They're fun.
RDV,
but it's not.
RDV, make the effort. Go for it. Why not?
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Same thing with MK if you want to be that way back because they're both age appropriate.
Yep.
So I mean, like I said, I get a huge kick out of both of them, but I said that's, I think we all do because they're really a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what, I thought it would be fun. I thought as far as readings and all that was concerned, I talked to him about this. Maybe the chat, tell me if this is a good idea or not. I thought it would be kind of fun to do daily strips, the newspapers, doing readings of those. And like doing 3 or 4 a day, and they would be different strips, like every day. Monday, you would get a piece of the story. Tuesday, same, you go on. Because I've got collections out the yin of some of our favorite. And I thought it would be really good. I casted people in my head. I haven't talked to you guys about it. I talked to the Lester sisters because one of the strips I have is Wonder Woman. And listen to her voice. I think Melissa would be an amazing Wonder Woman voice. Yeah, we talk about Amy's voice work, which is great. I think Melissa would be wonderful as Wonder Woman. What do you think?
Oh, I have no doubt that either one of them could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa's is a little deeper, so that
That's what I was listening for. Just
like I said, that the Teen Titans ones. That's the most fun I have reading, because they are the way Amy does Starfire and Beast Boy, and Melissa's Deadpan Raven are just a blast.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's see. Who was the last hitter, 400 or higher batting average in the better song guys? Danger Games or single? I don't know those songs.
Okay. Ted Williams, 1941. And what are the songs?
The songs are Danger Games by the Pinkies or Single Version by Obsession.
No idea. I've never heard either one.
No idea who those are. Which one of them girls has the high voice that might shatter my wine glass? All the dogs hit Amy. Yep. Ooh, I was worried Englantine OF was down the pipe. No. Although I actually thought about doing a conversation one, no. Did you get the last two money orders? That I have not yet. No. Any advice for a new PC? I have no advice on that one. That's player character. Play. Yeah, that's up to you guys. What was Takitani's position with the Detroit Tigers?
I guess I'm stumped there.
Whose voice should I play in all seriousness for a character to you and Eric Breen for a comic book? Well, you've got range. So while your deep voice, would make us think, okay, if we ever do one with, Dark Side or something, obviously, but you've got range. I thought of Eric for the Batman stuff. I thought about doing that strip too. Eric is Alfred. I thought you would make a very good Alfred.
It's the Batman, sir.
Yes.
I'll summon him, sir.
You have a very dry sense of humor as well, and I do like that. A lot of you give those lines where it's kind of like I do, where people might not know you're joking, or it's just a casual. You'll throw it, and I think that's good for Alfred. Let's see. As far as MK is concerned, from what would we put him as? Darth Vader. Star Wars was one of the strips. I know it's just kind of playing up to your deep voice, but Darth Vader. Let's see. I'd like to meet a good deal of people that show up for the channel and panels. Seem like some good people to me. Yeah, that would be kind of nice.
Yeah, that's you mentioned that, Dark Emerald. That at Dallas Fan Expo, about 6 or 7 people that have appeared on Wes's Saturday morning show all met up. And I said that and most of them for the first time, although they've been good friends on YouTube, just like we all are. And I'll tell you, I said I would have gone there in a heartbeat if I could have afforded it.
Yep.
But yeah, it would be cool to meet a bunch of people that you've met. I'm 0 for 1 so far, but I'm sure there's some good people out there.
Oh, by the way, there you go.
No, I was talking about Jambo.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, I've actually only met 3 people. You, a guy named Steve Caldwell. He used to have a channel called I Love Disney and Comics. He doesn't do videos much anymore. And Jamie, who does Jambo Comics, says I've met one of the other fossils, and a guy that lives in Dayton. Jamie lives downstate. But yeah, I said, and I could have met Bub and Metarog stopped by Comic Book World on a day I was at Phil's.
I saw Rip. I was trying to meet Gary, but their line was so fucking huge, and I don't want an autograph. I don't want any of that shit. I just want to say, hey, Gary, we met. It's kind of weird, and maybe I'm kind of fooling myself on this one, but I knew him when. you know? So it's like, I'm not the fanboy. I'm not fanboying after. I don't want to stand in a 4-hour line. I just want to say hi to somebody I considered a friend. So I stopped by, and the people were confused as fuck as what I was trying to do, because I just seemed like a guy who was skipping line and such. And they said he was walking around. So I'll look for him. If I find him, I find him, because I was nowhere near about to wait in the line for him.
Yeah, Gary came over and introduced himself to Wes down there.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still, you know, he's
that
too big for anybody's britches.
And that's how I wanted to do. I didn't want to meet him as a fanboy, because you know I don't feel that way. Not that I don't marvel at his success, tell you the truth, but I do. And but the thing is if I waited in line, it would have not been how I meant the meeting to go. You know, I wanted to meet, when I meet even RDV or anybody, I want to meet as oh wow, okay, yeah, you're this guy I've been talking to for so long. You're you know, you're a friend of mine. That's how I want to meet. So and if I've been threatening my family, we get a good con again, and I'm gonna put up a table for Elizabeth's art, and I'll set up a little something so people can talk on the channel and all that kind of stuff. And if I ever meet you in that capacity, please come up with and I'm talking to people in the chat. Anytime you see me, please come up as a friend, and not somebody holding a weapon that wanted to kill me. Let's see. I'm at Summit Heroes Con, says Dark Admiral. Yeah, I'm not taking about this Saturday's auction. I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When they'll come in, I'll tell you. I haven't received I haven't received any money orders this time. So, but
speaking of YouTube, so I said, Wes had another interview with Mark Millar that released today. He is a really good conversation.
Mark Millar,
because I mean, Wes has interviewed a bunch of people, and I think I've actually made it all the way through 2 of them. You know, Jeremy Adams, because he's like talking to a big kid, and it was a conversation. It wasn't an interview. And you know, Wes and Mark are, I guess, got to be pretty good friends, because that was very conversational also.
That's awesome.
So that was definitely you're not wasting your hour if you check that out. Because like I said, I have the attention span of a gnat when it comes to most interview videos.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I've so like and I guess it depends who it is too, because I know that cat was Casually Comics. She was interviewing Jeff Johns. I think I lasted 5 minutes into that. Yeah, Jeff Johns, brilliant writer. Not a scintillating interview. At least that one wasn't.
It's hard when you have somebody who's not participating. When you're talking to anybody, and I get this sometimes. I've been on other people's channels, and I've had people here, and when you say, "So I hear you like I hear you like Golden Age comics." Yep. All right. So when we talk, you want somebody who will answer the question, but then tell a story within that question. You want a little bit more. Oh yeah. Of course I love Golden Age comics. I really maybe didn't when I first started, but the first time I picked up Plastic Man, holy shit, that was great. You want somebody who can relate with a story, even if it's by a thread, somebody who can carry the conversation. Let's see. Michael, with your money orders, with Nerdy Texan, they usually came on Thursday or Friday. So, like, if you sent one for Saturday's auction, if you sent it on Monday, usually come in on Thursday and Friday.
Dark Emerald and Darth Kato, thanks.
Appreciate that. Darth Kato said, I like all the people here. I'm actually very shy, but I feel right at home here. Cool. I'm glad you do. MK is asking better song, Lorelei or Angie? Lorelei.
Angie.
Look, Angie's a good song, but it's very slow. It's very one note all the way through. Lorelei is just actively better. There's the music's written better. It's played. It's just a better song. It's actually got key changes Yeah.
I don't care if it's got diaper changes.
Well,
Angie's
look, if Angie was a better written song, I would say it was Angie. But Laura, this is not a I'm a Styx fan thing. Angie is a great song.
This isn't an I'm a Rolling Stones fan thing. I just love Angie.
Oh yeah, it's a great song.
That was the first Rolling Stones song I remember liking as a kid because that came out I think when I was 10 maybe, and I hadn't heard a lot of the Stones back catalog yet. I think I was in the 4th or 6th grade, so I was either 10 or 12. But I do remember that. And it was it's like certain songs you attach to different times in your life. That's like one of the few memories I have from grade school interactions with girls before you knew what to do with them. Yeah. Although I found out that 2 of the girls in my 5th grade class were already getting into bars. They were twin sisters and they could pass for 18, which was close enough to let these perverts at this bar would let them in. And I know I've told this before, but and to no one's surprise, they became ladies of the evening. I think getting into bars when you're 11 probably sets you down a wrong path.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
Let's see. Dark Admiral says, I just want to let Breen ramble about music or comics, especially. I try to soak it all in and take notes for reads. That's true. Look, one of the things I'm very happy with I mentioned this before. I've had like a rolling cast, like a supporting cast with since this channel has begun. I can very much start and do a live stream by myself. I've done them many, many times, but I love to have people to bounce off of. This cast is kind of set, and I'm absolutely lucky to have somebody who knows so much about music, so much about comics in Breen. RDV started off kind of, Eric refers to him as our comic book children. He taught RDV a lot about books, so we've seen him grow. Maranya's been a staple. Everybody, it's a great group of guys and girls that have jumped on. I
kind of looked at RDV as a kid when we first started, and I don't anymore.
Yeah, same here. Actually, I got to admit. Yeah,
give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab another Coke and get. Right. Coco's in her tree chair, and she's giving me the evil eye.
Gotcha. I thought you said you did receive. I must have been talking about the ones from auctions before. I haven't received those, but don't worry about it. Here's my attitude towards all of it. I trust you. I really do, Mike. And I know you'll send them. And when you send them, I'll send the books. It's and if you need me to hold them, I'll hold them. I have no doubt you're gonna live. I think you're a stand-up guy. So no, it doesn't bother me if it takes a little while at all. I trust you, Mike. The interviews bore a lot of time, says Dark Admiral. Let's see. I could listen to Breen talk about comics for hours. I've learned a lot from him, says Darth Cato. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you. Kind of starting to hurt a little bit. Let's see. I believe you do. No worries. Let's see. You're welcome. And there you go. Yeah, it's been like that. But this channel has been very lucky to. I've just had a lot of different kinds of people. Icon, Mr. E. I'll tell you what. I've said this many times. Dom knows his shit. Dominic, I actually send him links to these things. I love talking about the books. I know we haven't done a show in a while because Monday's kind of a little volatile for me as far as whether or not I could do a show. But I'll tell you, Dominic knows his stuff. So it really is fun to do a reading and have him jump in. I wish he was a little bit more vocal because he does have a lot of knowledge to share as far as comics. It's just been a great group. Mr. E was the same way. Dalton is a very specific kind of person when it comes to fandom, but and what happened the other day aside, I don't mind him going on rambles. What was up though was Dalton was very excited about the topic, so he would step over everybody, and I may have raised my voice a little bit too much. Favorite Stone song? I know it probably seems trite, but I love Wild Horses, and that's from Dark Admiral. Wild Horses is an amazing song. You can't always get what you want. Either that one or oh, goodness gracious. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long, long year. That one is my favorite. The title is escaping me, though. Kiddo, yep, yeah, cool too. Everyone here has their own personalities. Yep. I'm going to send the money order for the past Saturday's auction. Cool. All righty. So when I was a teenager to 17, is nobody's ever carded me. And oh, really? When I was 21, I got carded for a book of matches. I looked young for a long time until I didn't. Let's see. Clint saying Blue on Black by Kenny Wayne Shepherd is that song for me. It takes me back to the days when I was reading the Ultimate Silver Surfer novel and got really hooked into philosophy at the age of 11. What song does that? Well, occasionally a song will pop in. It'll make me remember something, but I don't know if there's one song that does that. Let's see. Same goes with you, but not music Sticks. I'm just saying, joke. Hey, you know what? Sticks fans know that it's a very specific group. We've heard a lot of people trashing our band, so I'm bulletproof on that. Let's see. I've enjoyed it here. Always felt welcome, and that's true. I mean, because of trolls, I stopped doing. But I used to just drop the link into the chat. Anybody wants to jump on can. And if you do want to jump on sometime, just give a heads up. If you're worried about money orders, use a MasterCard gift card. They work on Ko-Fi. There you go. That's one way to do it. Let's see. I heard you when I first found English. I was a bit shy at first, especially when I first went on the stream and everyone was just asking me questions. Also, I was surprised by how I sound. Yep. That actually happens quite a bit. RDV didn't talk a lot, even. And I don't know, there's a sense of pride when somebody's been on the channel and they kind of get their confidence and then they go and they build their own channels.
Wait a minute. Let's leave us not be so hasty there.
What?
We actually had VENKMAN quiet at one point.
Yeah.
And you let it get to what he's become. Jeez.
VENKMAN will try to take over the channel here sometimes.
Well, I don't know where you learned that. No kidding. One
of the big complaints. Remember Yellow Flash going off on me? And he was like, I want to get him into blood sports. England team sucks and all that kind of stuff. One of the things he says, have you ever heard he goes on to other people's channels, just takes over? Okay. I did ask. I asked Comics Division if that was true. He said, yeah, kind of, but then I don't have to talk, so it makes an easy live stream. Yeah. Does BREEN want to join the next Marvel Superheroes campaign? Even before he answers, I'm going to say no. What do you say?
Is that the role-playing thing?
Yeah.
I would have thought he would have known me better.
I know, right?
By now.
Yeah. All this time he's been around. Dalton knows magic books. He's a magic man. Now, okay, whoever tried to get me to go off on, what were their names? 9 Inch Nails or Nickelback, the one with the swimming pool baby? I don't know.
Nirvana.
Nirvana, there you go. I'm not a big Nirvana fan. But God damn it, now I've got heart blowing through my brain.
Well, I'll say this. You just named 3 bands. One, which is, 100% commercial success only. And that's Nickelback.
Nickelback, yeah.
Yeah, 9 Inch Nails, honestly, I think might be, and it's just me. This is subjective because there are a lot of people that would push back on this. I think Trent Reznor, the 9 Inch Nails, very overrated. Trent Reznor is very talented because he's worked with everybody across a lot of genres. Mm-hmm. So I can't take that away. It's like, Tom Morello's done that. Can't stand him.
Yeah.
because he's a far left fuck, but he's still very talented. But Nirvana, I really do think that their second effort, which was Nevermind, is a legitimate masterpiece. I think it's infinitely better than Pearl Jam 10 or anything else that those guys produced out there in like the Seattle grunge sound or whatever. That's I think In Utero Nevermind. In Utero to me is like television marquee moon to Adventure. Yeah, the follow-ups were very, very good, but the ones that came before are just absolutely flawless. So, and we'll never know, because I said, for lack of a better term, Kurt Cobain didn't live long enough to become the villain. And by that I mean, there was an old joke that said we had this bar where I live called Annie's, and they would get a lot of washed up acts there, like on the way out. And he said if Jim Morrison were still alive, the doors would be opening for Foghat at Annie's. But we'll never know, because he checked out at the height of his creative prime.
The Doors fell apart. Here's what I would think, actually, if Jim Morrison was alive. The Doors broke up. Jim Morrison went off to write poetry. That's, of course, when he drank himself to death. And if he kept living, I think the Doors would have they would have kind of petered out or just blown up.
Yeah, we'll never know. I mean,
and then 20 years later, they would have had a reunion that Jim Morrison was somewhat replaced by. I don't know if they. Yeah, we'll never know. But
Dark Emerald, that's fair. But I honestly believe that Nevermind was a better album than anything that those other two, that Soundgarden or Alice in Chains did. But I can see being a bigger fan of theirs than Nirvana. I just think that everything about that album was excellent. Soundgarden and Alice in Chains were a little closer to hard rock than my taste ran at that time. I was more into Nirvana and Mudhoney, if anybody remembers them. But yeah, I mean, I said you can't go wrong with either of those two bands. Obviously, they're
so. We were asked, and I answered. Thankfully, they told me the title. I forgot the title. What is your favorite Rolling Stone song?
I honestly don't know that I can come up with one.
Mine was Sympathy for a Devil. There are two or three that would contend, because Can't Get What. But I think 1 and 2, and they could switch, is Can't Get What You Want and Can't Always Get What You Want, and Sympathy for a Devil are my two favorites.
Yeah, I would have to basically start looking at the backs of some of the albums, because there's so many. I mean, I said they're my obviously they're my favorite all-time band, and they've got slow songs that I love. They've got up-tempo songs that I love. I mean, they've got songs 25 years apart that I love. I mean, I think Mixed Emotions is an incredible song. And that was 1989, when they've been around since the early 60s. But I don't know that I could honestly come up with a favorite. It's weird. Like I said, Springsteen is my favorite solo artist. Well, if you count the E Street Band, I guess you have to. But like Born to Run has been my favorite album for 50 years now. But my favorite song of all time is also a Springsteen song, but it's not on Born to Run. It's on the album before it, Rosalita. So that one I can answer easy. Stones, I can't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What is a perfect album? Like, what are the ones? Because I can point to like Styx Grand Illusion. That's not my favorite Styx album, but everybody picks it as the best. I actually, my favorite is probably Paradise Theater of theirs. I just think it was a better they put together album. Like the song choice, not just the songs that they put on it, but how they put on it, the order that they put on it.
Okay, here's one.
But okay,
perfect album that something that would be a perfect album, but one song doesn't ruin the album, but it keeps it from being a perfect album.
Ooh. A perfect, a one song off album. What would that be? A one song off album.
I was just Wild Innocent in the East Street Shuffle, Wild Billy's Circus Story.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of I like it, but it just kind of it's not as good as the other ones. But because I mean, I said, yeah, you said what name a perfect album? In my opinion, Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds. Perfect album. Queen's The Game. That does not get enough love, but I think their perfect album is probably the one. Hold on, I gotta look it up. It's the one with "We Will Rock You" on it. Queen albums.
My Queen knowledge is
it's like something to do with machines. So there's a robot on the cover, but a robot.
News of the World.
News of the World. Yeah, I think
that's my favorite Queen album.
That is an amazing album, and it ends with that "Another Party's Over" with that real bluesy piano song.
Did you know that was an old sci-fi pulp cover when it came out? I didn't till later on. But...
Yeah, I would have to say that's probably probably mine. I'd almost agree with BREEN, but I was a bigger Soundgarden and Alice in Chains fan. I'm trying to think of that one album with one song that's just a little bit. Why did you put that on? Oh, okay, I've got it. Yeah, it just popped into my head because and look, I think it's a catchy song, but it doesn't belong there. There's a band that got caught up in the hair metal. And they didn't want to be a hair metal band, but they were thrown in there, and they were called Warrant. And they were just, I mean, it was like Poison Light the way they were advertised, but their songs were much darker than anything that that a lot of the hair bands were doing. So they do this album, and it's got some of the best songs they've done. One song called Uncle Tom's Cabin is amazing. It's like, this does not belong in this genre. And so the studio says, yeah, but you need a hit. You need to write a hit. And not only do they, you need something catchy we could put out. And not only did they write this in like 5 seconds, I'm exaggerating, and they put it out, it ended up being a huge hit, and they named the album after it, and it was called Cherry Pie. If you listen to the album Cherry Pie, that song stands out like a fucking sore thumb.
Okay. Yeah, but, and I'm going to say, Tony, did you know that Love Hurts was a cover? I didn't know that till about 4 months ago. Nazareth, Love Hurts. That's an old ass song, and I forgot who did it originally. But I mean, do you honestly? I mean, and I'm not trying to be, my usual dick self by saying this. Is Warrant really talented enough to have done a perfect album otherwise?
I think. Well, it depends on what you want to define. Like every song perfect, or is every song perfect for that band?
There are hard rock albums that are superior.
I do like hard rock, by the way.
Yeah, but
a little bit more than you do.
I never thought of Warrant as having that kind of talent.
You probably wouldn't. Why would you? The way they were promoted. What in the promotion of a lot of albums? Well, if you followed the promotion and the songs that Skid Row put out, you would not know that they were a speed metal band.
Okay, but I have heard, Skid Row getting critical acclaim.
Okay.
Obviously, Metallica's gotten their share. Black Sabbath's gotten their share. There are other bands, but I've never heard Warrant put in that category.
I do. So I know that people have heard that out. I get it. I get the skepticism. But I know that people have heard that album. They love it, except for that one song.
Yeah, I'm not. It's in skepticism. It's just me asking a honest question, because I said I've never heard them put in that category.
And also, it would depend. I mean, if you're I don't know what a perfect Janet Jackson album would sound like.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know what Chris Gaines' But I think that's a not country singer or something.
That was Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what a Garth
alter
Brooks
ego.
perfect album would sound like. So yeah, in all honesty, I don't know what a perfect Rolling Stones album sounds like. I know the Rolling Stones from the greatest hits.
Yeah, but also I said, but Rolling Stones are one of the most critically heralded bands of all time.
Yeah, that's true. You would.
So
They have they have the prestige that you can say, okay,
Yeah.
they have perfect albums somewhere. But yeah,
I mean,
that's the way it is.
you can last 50-something years on this planet and not like Bob Dylan even a little bit, but you can't deny that he has 3 or 4 albums that are considered among the best ever made.
Like
David Bowie, same thing.
Ziggy.
That's actually
that's mine.
Like this I think Hunky Dory might have won like an all-time best of list by some group of critics. I mean, it's so I mean he's but if you don't like them, if you don't listen to them, you don't know what that would be. But you said go like an aggregate of critics' opinions.
Well, here's one. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Yeah. So they do know what I'm talking about. By the hated cherry pie, but love Bobby. Yes.
Yeah. Here's what.
But hold on. Let me get a couple of questions here because we were asked who do we hate more, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. I'll answer that by saying I don't really hate either one of them because I didn't listen to them. If I have to pick one, Backstreet Boys, because I live in Florida and I worked with Joey Fatone's sister, and she was fantastic young lady. And anytime I saw Joey, who was very friendly, and it would happen. I'm not friends with him. I'm not saying anything like that. It's just that he knew who I was because I worked with his sister, and every time after that, for even no matter the top of the fame to he's doing game shows or whatever, anytime I'd see him around town, hey Joey, what's up? How's Janine? Everything going well? What's up? Blah blah. Okay, just met, and then he goes his way, I go out, and he's always been good. And the music I heard was catchy. It was enjoyable. Not my cup of tea, but
my answer is I don't hate either of them.
Yeah, same here.
Because I was already pushing 40 when they came out, and nobody in my circles were listening to them because they'd all aged out, and we sold. I remember we sold a lot. No Strings Attached, I think, still has the record for most first week sales. And given the way the industry is now, that's never going to be beaten. It's like, somebody's going to hit in 57 consecutive games before an album, and this includes Taylor Swift, sells more than 2.2 million in its first week.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is somebody's got to get Janine on a record. We had a show at Universal Studios, the Blues Brothers show, and basically they would come tooling up in the car, and they would go up and they would sing Blues Brothers songs, and they had a couple of really good looking sound-alikes. And then they would bring in Mabel, usually a black woman, big powerful voice, but if they needed a substitute, and this happened one day, she was going to be working. We worked at Alfred Hitchcock, the Art of Making Movies, and when she was working, they actually called up, we need Janine. Okay, now we're one down, but she's going to go off and she's going to do the Mabel. For those of you who don't know, the Mabel was Aretha Franklin. And I immediately say, okay, I want to be at the door. I want to work the door because at a certain point in time, I'm going to hear Janine, and they're like 4 streets over. Theme parks are loud. And when Janine was Mabel, you could hear her across the freaking park. That woman can belt. She laid out A Midnight Train in Georgia when we went to karaoke. I was like, holy shit, this girl's good. So as much as I think, I didn't hate NSYNC, I think that the sister of NSYNC should have been in there. Which song, Eye of the Tiger or We Will Rock You? We Will Rock You.
We Will Rock You. Yeah. With apologies to Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but they are two of the probably greatest feel good, you know, yeah, songs ever done. But musically, We Will Rock You.
Okay, Lady or Gimme Shelter. Now, here's the thing. With the songs I know by Rolling Stones, there are, and I think any band, there are tiers. And Lady is what drove Styx. That's what made them famous. Gimme Shelter is a mid-tier, in my opinion. It may be even lower. Yeah. So just Lady is just a better written song than Gimme Shelter.
Oh, that well, no, you're 100% wrong about that. But
no, I'm really not. But okay.
Okay. You know,
we will never agree on that one.
Ask 100 people that know music, and you will get humiliated.
Let's play both of them side by side, and I will not. Rat Out of the Cellar. Oh, was Rat's best album? Okay. Desert Rose agrees that it's Lady. Let's see. No, nothing. Great songs, Lady by Styx and Gimme Shelter is Rolling Stones. Yep. Yeah, we should all sign up. Tony's saying he's got to sign up. I have last one. Buttered popcorn, taffy left. Okay, there you go. Oh, buttered popcorn, taffy. Okay. I like the jelly beans that are, you know. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Kiss's best album is probably Songs from the Elder. You know, I know this is no one's ever considered this their best album, but I think Destroyer's damn near a perfect album.
That I would have to say, absolutely. I'll agree with that. Destroyer is, yeah.
Now, a lot of
song
it,
for song.
1976, you know, my local baseball team was the best in the world. I had just started, the comic book habit, take your pick. And there were a lot of albums that I heard for the first time that were from that time period. You know, Kiss Destroyer, Toys in the Attic. And I think Toys in the Attic is damn near a perfect album.
I'm looking at the songs that are on Destroyer, and I'm hearing them as I read the title. So yeah, that's a great freaking album.
I'm hearing the sounds of the diner to start the album before the guy gets in his car and
gets in the wreck.
It's
okay. I'll tell you another one.
For Rumors.
I'll tell you another one that you and I have not talked about, but Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Not a bad song on it. So there you go.
That is one of 3 albums that I loved, but I heard so much because my mother loved Bat Out of Hell, Hotel California, and Night Moves. And in fact, the last time, the last time my mom got stoned was at a concert at Riverfront Stadium. She went to see the Eagles. And I could think back, and I mean, I could recognize all those albums for what they are. And yeah, Meatloaf is it's one of those rare, uber successful commercially albums that is as good as it is successful. Yep. And you know what I mean by that.
Yes, I do.
There is some absolute schlock that has been. We'll give you for example,
we brought up Janet Jackson.
1992, biggest selling album in the world. Spin Doctors, Pocket Full of Kryptonite. You go into any record store in the country that isn't owned by a family member of the Spin Doctors, and they're going to be in the dollar boxes. Yeah. That same record store is going to stock Bat Out of Hell.
Yep.
That's all
hello to Dungeon Crawler Kevin, who I had to check to see if I knew, because he's saying, hello, Florida man. There's not many bad Zeppelin songs. Zeppelin, God bless them, overplayed. I think Led Zeppelin 2 is an amazing album. We're talking about the perfect albums. Zoko was the one that got me in, and that's another one. But oh my gosh, I tried. I put in Mothership, which is kind of like their big greatest hits album, I'm done. I can't listen. I'm still not ready to listen to Led Zeppelin again.
Rhaegar, that's funny you bring that up. I know I know I've said this before this channel. One of my cell phones, I had a way to program, personalized ringtones. So, like my homophobic friend, his ringtone was "Marching in the Gay Parade." But my mom's was Hotel California, and I was saying that for years, and now she's gone, and it was hard to hear for a few years, but now I'm okay hearing it. Yeah, but I get that because, but one of the great things about selling music, being what I did for decades, is you listen to so much different stuff that I can actually hear Stairway to Heaven or Freebird without throwing up in my mouth. Because I guarantee it, everybody in that chat's heard it more than me in the last 20 years.
Let's see. Power Slave is Patrick Sargent's best Iron Maiden. I'm boring when it comes to that because I have all the albums up to Seventh Son, but Number of the Beast is my favorite. Hallowed be Thy Name being my favorite Iron Maiden song. How about a favorite cover of a well-known song? Mine is Let It Be from Across the Universe, says Dark Admiral. Well, as far as Beatles, Styx did do a cover of The Walrus, and it was pretty damn good. But as far as favorite cover, favorite cover, something that was absolutely made better by the cover. I don't know. I would have to think about that one for a while.
I think Aretha Franklin did Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I liked it better than Simon & Garfunkel's version.
That's a big, powerful...
it's rare to find. Because I said, I mean, the sometimes, like, you'll hear, like, hard rock bands, one of the things they started doing in the 2000s was cover albums because they got tired of not selling.
Mm-hmm.
And they might do a version of something, and since you're more into hard rock, you like their version better. But realistically, it's hard to find a cover that's better than the original because, the original was the inspiration for it. So I don't know. Okay.
No. I think as much as I love them, and I've got all of the albums and I listen to everything that they've done. I know damn near every line and every word of every Simon & Garfunkel song, but Disturbed did a version of Sound of Silence that I think is very haunting. I absolutely believe is better.
Okay, yes, I would tend to agree with Clint, except for I absolutely love McCartney's version of Live and Let Die. Guns N' Roses, their version, that's probably top 5 cover for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've said this many times, and I'll say it right here. I like a lot of Dylan covers more than I do Bob Dylan. And I get it. It's just the voice. He doesn't have the voice. So Mamas and the Papas did one. Oh, goodness gracious. What is it? Peter, Paul, and Mary, I think, did Blowing in the Wind, which I think is a better version. But I'm a huge Peter, Paul, and Mary fan, so.
Okay, now sometimes, like, Manfred Mann, one of the songs they're best known for is Blinded by the Light.
Yeah.
Because that was just a song on Springsteen's first album. Manfred Mann was released as a single and became a hit. They also did Spirit in the Night from that same Springsteen album. Yeah. So when you're doing a cover that, like, most people don't know that Blinded by the Light was a Springsteen song. They just assume that Manfred Mann originated it. And it's like, I would be willing to bet that there are a lot of people, if you're not a big Dylan fan, that don't know that Peter, Paul, and Mary were doing a Dylan song.
Yeah.
Now, if you were into folk, you did, but because sometimes, like I said, the covers are more famous than the originals. But as far as songs that were the original is the more famous still, it's hard to find something that truly is better.
Yeah. The Whitney Houston "I Will Always Love You" is not better. She does a great job. She can power it out, but in doing the power ballad that she did, she lost a lot of the emotion that's in the words and the music.
Didn't somebody else have a version of Jolene? Speaking of
Beyonce.
Was that it? Oh, okay.
Jolene.
Let's see. Aerosmith's cover of "Come Together" from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie, was good. Let's see. Favorite cover, either "Wannabe" by Postmodern or "Hit the Road Jack" by Buster Poindexter. Okay, I'll tell you this one. Richard Cheese did a Disturbed song. I brought up Disturbed before. Disturbed did "Down with a Sickness," and Richard Cheese did it as a hotel lounge song. Get up, come on, get down with sickness, your mother get. I like that version.
Oh, I was the God, didn't Soundgarden what was the Johnny Cash song "Hurt"?
Yep.
Hurt
by 9 Inch Nails.
So not okay, 9 Inch Nails. That was legitimately good.
Johnny Cash, even Trent Reznor said it's not my song anymore, and it's true. I think a lot of times when people hear it, they want to hear the Johnny Cash rather than the 9 Inch Nails. "Sweet Dreams." Oh yeah, who did it was Annie Lennox who did the original. Who did it was for the movie, right? The one with the girls, the Zack Snyder movie. Yeah, that was a good song. That was actually a good remake.
So I did like a metal version of it, right?
Yeah.
Was it Marilyn Manson?
No, it was a girl. It was a woman that was singing it.
No, someone did a version of "Sweet Dream." Some guy did a version of it. Also.
Okay. "Hallelujah" by Jeff Buckley. I do like what's his name's original, but I do believe Buckley did it better. What was his name?
I don't know that song.
David played and he knew the Lord. Even from the day, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lifts. Yeah, that one. I just was way out of tune.
Yeah. Did you ever hear any of Tim Buckley's music?
I have not. Not that I could tell you anyway. I might have.
It's funny that "Grace" by Jeff Buckley is the album I've sold more copies of that I've never heard. I mean, that still sells like twice a month in 2025. And, Buckley killed himself, 30-something years ago now? His dad killed himself, too, if I'm not mistaken. But,
yeah, I'm not very familiar with what you're talking about at all.
Well, you knew the Jeff Buckley song. You knew he had a dad that was also a folk singer, right? Yeah, in the the early 70s.
Yeah.
Had an album called Star Sailor that inspired a British band to name themselves after that.
Oh wow. I just found out that a song I thought was a cover was not a cover.
What was that?
The Monkees, "Going Down." Have you ever heard it?
I probably have, but
What?
The Monkees, "Going Down." You've heard it. It's the really fast one. I thought it was a blues number. Floating down the river with saturated liver, and I wish I could forgive her, but I do believe she meant it when she told me how to forget it, and find me in the morning waiting drown, and word gets round, going down, I'm going down. That one. You ever hear it? Come up for air. It's pretty stuffy under there. I don't know, but yeah. But it's a Mickey Dolenz sung song, and I thought it was like a blues number before that, but I looked it up because I was wondering who did it before, but nope, that was written by them. Coming up here. Let's see. The fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. And from her lips he drew the hallelujah. Emily Browning covered "Sweet Dreams" and "Sucker Punch." Okay. She was Baby, the main character. All right.
And
Yeah, it was done very
and
well.
they told me that I was right. It was Marilyn Manson that did the one I was thinking of,
Okay.
which is probably the only Marilyn Manson song I've ever liked.
Going down the river with a saturated liver, and I wish I could forgive her, but I do believe she meant it when she told me to forget it. And what are
Pixel, how was the world of Doctor Who this evening?
I mean, we were talking for an hour. We had a steady audience of
But
what?
bet she will forget
6
it
to
when she
8
finds-
people. So pretty good.
Nah, Monkeys is better. I knew you knew that was coming.
I'm going to be honest. I do love the Monkeys, but I actually enjoy Smash Mouth a tiny bit more.
I've never heard it, so I'm just gonna say, even if I had, I would have to agree with E on that one.
Well, you know, I'm a believer. You know that one. Neil Diamond wrote it.
Yeah. No, I said I've never heard Smash Mouth's version.
Oh, okay.
But I said even if I had, I would still say the Monkeys is better. I'm confident.
It just comes down to like that energy at the end. You feel it.
Well, it's kind of why I liked Styx's version of "I Am a Walrus" because they really overdo the ending. It's not necessary, but it's like "I am the walrus." Yeah, they just really hit it a lot better in this than the Beatles did.
No, I just hear it now. Is it? Yeah.
Styx did a cover of a song called "Lies" by I think the band was called the Knickerbockers. Lies, lies, tell me that it is true or something like that. I don't know.
Then I saw her face. Then I'm a hey now. Sorry, that was Instinct.
Hey now, you're a rock star.
Game on, go play.
Hey now. Okay, it's a generation thing. Young Love, Smash Mouth. What's that one? Feels like I'm walking on the sun. Might as well be walking on the sun. Yeah. I'll tell you the '90s song that I kind of miss is "Groove Is in the Heart." I thought that was a good silly one, but then again, I also like what's that one? Andre 3000. Hey now.
Oh, hey ya.
Hey ya. Yeah.
That might be the catchiest song in the history of songs.
I know, right? It's like, why aren't they playing that all the time? Why do I have to hear, as you said, why do I have to hear Hotel California or Southern Man or something like that?
I don't know, because that song was that as a hit lasted an unusually long time. But then again, I think about it, I probably don't. Well, I don't listen to many commercial radio stations that play music at this point, so I don't know if anybody's still if it's old enough now. If the oldies station could be playing it,
I know, right? It's 20 years.
But man, was that catchy! It's probably longer than that now.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, guys, I have to get up early to go. Which is worse, Madonna's American Pie or Joan Jett's Dirty Deeds? American Pie. Absolutely. At least Joan Jett knows how to play the fucking guitar, and not the greatest, but it's not as horrible as Madonna's American Pie. Yeah. All righty, guys. So let's see what's going on. Tomorrow is Thursday. That's mine and my wife's day off. So by all means, please spend your time over at Geeky Puppet Show tomorrow night, and they'll be talking about which comic books were good enough to buy this week.
It's going to be a short show. Not much this week.
Wow. And then on Friday, come back. We're going to have the bracket fights at 10:30, right after Geeky Pup Show has a reading. But we might get together and talk about something here as well. So keep an eye out for that. And, thanks for hanging out tonight. You guys have a great night.
Good night, kids.
Good night now.